all I can think about is the constant stress that I'm living in with building my coaching business, with managing my real estate business, with managing my social life, with balancing my body into all this. And everyone has their own problems, but everyone also deals with the same amount of stress, I like to think. Some stress might be more monumental for others, but everyone's stressed about everything. And I used to look at stress as such a negative thing, so, detrimental to my success and moving forward, this, that, or the other, and stress would negatively impact my actions and my experiences. And I've come to realize that stress is actually very much needed for success. You have to be stressed out constantly to become a shark in the world. There's people in the world that are sharks, and there's people in the world that are minnows. The people that are minnows are scared of stress. They don't want too much on their plate. That's because they don't want what's going to come to them. If they want a lot out of this life, then they're going to have a lot on their plate, and they're going to have to deal with a lot of stress. The sharks of the world want as much stress as possible. These are people who live a little bit beyond their means, but the idea behind it isn't, oh, they just want to live this facade of a lifestyle. It's they want more stress so that they can perform better. The most successful people deal with a ton of stress. That way they have to perform to maintain. They have to perform better. They have to level up their lifestyle. Their body has to get better. They have to make more money this month. They have to be a better person. All these type of things come with stress. And when you learn that stress is a tool, not a burden, you will use it as fire and fuel to take you whatever limit it is you want to go to. Even in school, I used to remember when I was a student, like in high school, the stress of like taking the test, and I can remember girls being in there like so stressed out about it, and in a negative way, like they were letting it impact their mental clarity on the whole situation. And my grades actually genuinely got better when I just took the stress and used it as passion and fuel, and just said, I need this, and this is going to be why I do good on this test, and it would happen. And the person that was stressed about it in a negative way the whole time, looking at it as such a burden, they didn't do well. They didn't perform well. Because when you can use stress to your advantage, you will know, it's the subconscious thought that I know X is depending on me, therefore Y I have to produce. You know what I'm saying? I have to produce. There is no other option. When you have this stress, you have no other option. This is one of the other misconceptions. Like businessmen, there's two types of businessmen. There's one businessman that makes $100,000, $200,000 a year, and he goes and he buys a really nice car. But he does this because he has to get in that car every day and know that there's a fat car payment and the insurance is expensive. Therefore, to keep this nice car that he enjoys driving, he's got to make more money. There is no negotiable. I have to make more money. It's a driving factor. He's using stress as his fuel to get there. And then there's the businessman who doesn't quite want that much stress. He's good with $180,000 a year. He's good with 14 grand a month, 15 grand a month. If he had that car, that stress would overwhelm him and it would be a burden and life would get too heavy for him, and he will just fold like a piece of paper. But that's because that guy doesn't want as much out of life as the guy who bought the car. The guy who bought the car knows that I need more stress. I need more stress to be a shark, to become a killer in my work life and every facet of my life, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Stress is the one tool you can use today to build momentum, to build, what you can handle. The body and the brain can handle a lot more than you think. Think about the stress of the president. Not even just Trump. Any president we've had. Those dudes have so much on your plate. Like, I think I have a lot with my real estate coaching business, family, all this sort of stuff. Yeah, it feels like a lot. Think about the stress this guy has. He's got the whole weight of the world in this country on his back. And he has to deal with it. But that's why he's in that position. Because he's a shark. He deals with stress. He's good at dealing with stress. He uses stress to fuel his passion, his impact on the world. And that's why he's sitting in the most powerful chair in this world. Stress is a tool that you can use to obtain anything that you want out of this life. The more stress that you have, the more motivation and reason and why behind whatever it is you're doing, you'll have. When you're not stressed out, you become satisfied. And when you become satisfied, your dreams shrink into a tiny box, and you let other people start telling you what you can do, and you let this person dictate your life, and you let this situation dictate your life. The reality of the factor is, you can buy whatever car you want. You can move wherever you want. You can get whatever job you want. You can make as much money as you want. But there's going to be stress with that. And the higher you go and the higher you make your goals and the higher your lifestyle moves, more and more stress is going to be involved with that. But what are you going to use that stress for? Is it going to be a burden in your life, or is it going to be a tool that you can use to better your life, to keep moving forward? I think about my parents a lot too. Like, they seemed like they were stressed a lot growing up, just with about life in general, because life is stressful. But it was always negative stress. It was always looked at in a negative connotation. You should look at stress as, I feel like we all pray a lot to God, if you're religious, about give me abundance, give me money, give me a car, give me new situations, give me that new job, give me that new opportunity. But stress is going to come with that. And you have to look at that as a positive thing. In my life personally, I've had times where I've had 3 or 4 real estate deals cooking at the same time. And I'm like, God, these people are stressing me out. These situations are stressing me out. Getting these loans approved is stressing me out, yada, yada, yada. But I prayed for that. I prayed for success. I prayed for success in real estate. I prayed for all this on my plate that he's given me. So I have to deal with the stress. I prayed for this stress, essentially. I prayed that I would have this opportunity to make money and be successful and make something of myself. A byproduct of that is dealing with the stress of success, because there is stress in everything. So don't use it as something that is going to drag you down negatively, and you think you can't do anything anymore. And it's too overwhelming for me. Like I said about the president analogy, if you think your life is too stressful, there's a lot of people out there who are way more stressed out than you. There's a businessman out there who has $0 to his name, and he just took out a $300,000 loan to start his business. That guy has true stress. But what is he doing? He's taking the risk. He's using the stress. He's putting it on his back, and he's using it as fuel to take his business to the moon, to take his vision to the moon, to put his thoughts on paper and run with it, because that's what stress really is. I had a mentor of mine who he's made, $1 million and lost it. He's made $5 million and lost it, and he's back up millionaire now. But over the course of his life, he's told me that he's the one who gave me the shark analogy. There's sharks and there's minnows. And he lives off of stress. He feeds off of it. He told me he wouldn't even be productive at all if he didn't have stress, because it's a motivating factor for him. It's not a burden. Too much stress is not going to kill your mental health if you use it the right way. Too much stress is not going to overwhelm you throughout your life if you use it the right way. It's not going to be detrimental to your health. It's not going to be detrimental to your job, to your headspace. If you use it the right way, it is a tool to get done what you thought you couldn't. Listen to that. It is a tool to get done what you thought you could never achieve, what you thought you could never do. I remember when I first bought the Corvette, the stress of putting that much money down on a car and this, that, or the other, and just in general, that whole situation of doing that at such a young age, I was stressed about it, but I did it, and I had it, and it was done, and I was so stressed about it, and then I made more money. It was a motivating factor. I made more money. I like this car. I'm going to have to go make more money today to keep this car. It was really just, I was overthinking the whole thing. When you overthink your stress, that's when it becomes a burden, and that's when it feels too heavy. That's when it feels like the weight of the world's on your back, when in reality, it's not as much as you think. And in reality, it's probably the stress of something that you prayed for to come into your life. Girls are stressful. Everything is stressful. Life, business, the gym, your body, your mental health, girls, religion. It's all stressful. But if you use it the right way, it's going to help you reach limits you've never been able to reach before. Think about the people like the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Jeff Bezoses, the Elon Musk. You think when they were starting their business, these are multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar businesses, they were stressed, really stressed. And now what I'm telling you is, to the point they're at now where they're billionaires themselves and their businesses are huge, they're even more stressed, because now people depend on them. The world depends on them. And so your level of stress is never going to go down just because you make more money. It's just going to give you more motivation and more drive to keep leveling up in this world. And you should want to keep leveling up. As a man in today's age, you should want to always have a better body. You should always want to make more money. You should always want to be a better person, a better boyfriend, a better husband, all these sort of things. So every time you level up, you're going to have to deal with more stress. The way you deal with it, though, is what will determine how extravagant your life can get and how much you can really accomplish in your time here. The people that take stress and use it as a burden and let it be detrimental to their health, detrimental to their situation, Those are the people who box themselves in, like I said, and they do not get all out of life of what they could have. Because all of us are, destined for whatever it is you want. We all have a gift. Just because I'm not good at something might mean that this person is good at the other thing, but I'm better at this than X than they are at Z. It's all relative. We all have something to offer, which means, and we live in a very modern era, you can take whatever it is you have to offer and absolutely push it to the world and absolutely just run it to the moon. But that's going to come with stress. It's going to come with doubt, because doubt comes with stress. That's really what it is. Stress is doubt. Stress is, this might not work out. It's causing me anxiety, or it's too much for me to handle. I don't think I can handle this. I'm doubtful about this situation. How do you get rid of doubt? You don't overthink it. And you just do what has to be done. And you live a consistent life every single day. If you're stressed about your job because you might get fired, what's the reasoning you're stressed about it? Is it because you're not performing well? It's because you're not getting enough sales? Well, here's the thing. Don't use that as something as, oh my God, if I get fired, this is going to happen. My life's going to get over. Yada, yada, yada. Analyze what you're doing every day. Use that stress as fuel and fix what you need to fix to get done. Like, to get to where you want to be. If you're stressed about a girl because she's stressing you out, why is she stressing you out? What specific part is stressing you out? Whatever that is, fix it. Don't dwell on this. Don't dwell on the stress of this, because it's not going to change unless you fix it. You have to actively fix these things. I remember I used to be so stressed when I was selling cars and going to college at the same time. I was like, I can't work, because I was working 9-10 hours a day every single day and going to school. It's like, I can't make money at my job and go to school, and I just can't do all this. And I was negatively looking at the stress as, this is too much for me. This is too much on my plate. And you know what that did? Instead of me using that stress as, I have to perform better for me to get to where I want to be, to get the degree or make more money, whatever it is that I wanted at the time. Instead of doing that, I used it as a negative impact. I used it as, I'm not built for this. You know what? Screw the grades. I'm just going to flunk out. Like, I'm not going to get any good grades. Like, or I'd get to work and I'm so stressed out from school. I can't really put my all into this work today. I can't make a sale because I'm stressed. This is too much for me. Versus if I used it as a tool to say, look, I want more from life, and I put myself in this position to work and go to school at the same time. Let me use this stress as fire and as fuel to be the best version of myself, to make the best grades, straight A's, to make as much money as I can in sales, to do all this, that, or the other. I didn't use it right. Nowadays, I understand because I've reprogrammed my brain, because you have to reprogram your brain, because it's natural for stress to be negative, but stress can be positive when you use it in the right way. It's a tool for success. It's a tool to leveling up your lifestyle. It's a tool to leveling up who you are as a person. Don't listen to these people who are going to say, well, if you're stressed out, you need to drop something, or you need to change, or you need to lower your lifestyle, because those are the people that are boxed in. And the people that are boxed in don't want to see anyone else outside of the box because they couldn't do it. They couldn't handle what was on their plate. You can handle whatever you think you can handle. And whatever you want out of life, you can get it. But it's all going to come with stress. It's all going to be stressful, and it's all going to be detrimental to your health for some time unless you use it the right way. Use stress as a tool to better up your life. Use stress as a tool to get you to where you want to be, to make you perform better, to make you into the person that you're wanting to be. Because that's what stress will do when you use it in the right way.